Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO. And for those of you that don't know who we are, Ron and I are the co-founders of the Ridge Project and the co-creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new. And you can see it right here. Bam! TYRO fit, baby.
That's right.
And it means a warrior. It means somebody who's fighting for something. And we have the honor and privilege of really creating a world where you can really activate the principles in your life that show you that there's life after penitentiary.
Right. So TYRO was actually created out of our own experience of the 15 years in prison. Ron doing time on the inside and the kids and I doing time on the outside. And so all the principles we learned as we overcame obstacle after obstacle. And you know what? Truly every day we still confront obstacles and have to overcome them. But those things that we learned, we impart unto you and all the people coming behind us through our TYRO suite of programs.
And we are so excited about today's segment because we really want to dive deep into really what does it mean to build a legacy, right?
Yep.
But maintain that legacy, to hold on to that legacy and not sacrifice it for a fleeting moment of pleasure, a fleeting moment of what you might think is moving you forward, but really setting you back 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 steps.
That's
right?
exactly right. Because we want you to become a warrior to fight for your legacy. And in fighting for your legacy, dads, that means you have to take your rightful place as the father in your children's lives. When we talk about taking your rightful place, we mean leading by example and becoming a father worth following so that your children can experience an even better future because of what you are doing right now and from this day forward.
So holding on to what you built and maintaining it and creating sustainability by being a man of integrity and a man of your word.
So if we were going to just basically put one phrase around what today's show is about, I would call it the box of Debbie's.
Or 15-cent soup. Right?
So we want you to stay tuned because we're going to talk about what exactly it is that we're talking about when we say, you know what, you are creating a legacy. How do you hang on to that legacy? How do you maintain and protect your legacy? And instead of doing something really dumb.
You know, Cathy said the box of Debbie's, and I say 15-cent soup, or the ramen noodle syndrome, right? And that's what we're talking about. What are you willing to do to keep and maintain that which you build? And how easily can you cause your own demise or destruction after you build something, right?
Right. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more about how to protect your legacy and not trade it in for a box of Debbie's. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine TYRO's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO.
And today we're talking about the things that we would do currently, in the past, or maybe even in the future, that will cost us our integrity.
Right. And so that's why we say, you know what? What's a box of Debbie's worth to you? Meaning, are you willing to sell out everything that you've earned for that fleeting moment of pleasure? And if you are, then you've got to stay stuck here, glued to this TV, so that we can help you overcome that.
You know, one of the things that we talked about is, you know, what is it? What are we talking about? We're talking about a mindset. What does it mean to you? What are you willing to do to maintain everything you built? Because if we really think about it, we already know what we're willing to do to destroy it.
That's right.
And then at the same time, because of our mindset, we're telling ourselves, no one will know. We're telling ourselves that it doesn't matter, right?
Or gosh, you know what? I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. I was doing so good. I don't know why I did that. We hear that so much.
You know, and what does it mean? And what we're talking about is what does it mean to create a place of safety where you know that no matter what comes at you, you're not gonna tumble. You're not gonna stumble. You're not gonna fall over because you practice, and practice makes what, Tyros? Practice makes permanent. And you've been tested and you've been tried. But you know, every once in a while, guys, come on now.
And then all of a sudden, you haven't had sugar in a long time. All of a sudden, somebody shows up with that box of Debbie's, and next thing you know,
you kill it, you smash it. You know what? Each Debbie,
you're going to debt for it.
You know what? I mean, that would be good. You know what? I mean, if we had a box of Debbie's here, right, and we pulled one out, that could represent lust.
Right.
Right? What is it? What is it? We could pull out our Debbie, and that could represent greed.
That's right. Yeah.
Right? We could pull out another Debbie, getting high.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then each time you say, just a little bit, just a little bit.
Right. Pride.
Right? Pride. And all of a sudden, by just taking a little bit, before you know it, you done consumed the entire box. Right?
And you wonder why you're right back, actually further back from where you started from.
Yeah, you further back.
Because once you start building something, and you do crazy stuff and it comes tumbling down, you find yourself underneath all that weight of, oh my goodness, now I already let everybody down once. Now I've double let them down. And you know what? It's really easy to avoid that. And I say easy, I should say it's simple. It's nothing worth doing is easy,
That's right?
But it's totally worth the effort. Your kids are watching you, and they're watching you and watching how you make decisions. What is worth the sacrifice? So is your family and their honor, their integrity, and their reputation worth the day-to-day sacrifices you make? Yes. Is a little Debbie, is greed, is lust worth making the sacrifice of your family? No.
You know, we talk about what is it? It's a mindset. This is a mindset. This is why practice makes permanent in your life right now, what you're doing, because you're in the penitentiary, dads. Come on, dads. And you've been practicing a behavior that got you incarcerated. You've been practicing a discipline that was negative, had negative repercussions in your life. So now we want to help you change the way you think.
Right.
Turn everything back around. Okay, when somebody does come and offer you a pin joint, right? You're in the penitentiary, and you know what I'm talking about. Can you have enough willpower? Can you have enough integrity to say no? What is it? This is a mindset. This is a way that a new discipline, a new philosophy in your life that you're not going to give up everything you're building anymore.
Right.
What is it? It's a new attitude and a new sense of gratitude that you have of what you get to do in this new awakening in your life, Tyro. People are counting on you to demonstrate what it means to sustain what you're building.
To do whatever it takes to protect your new legacy. Because if you don't do whatever it takes, something is going to take you out. That's what we're talking about today, is how do you protect your mind? How do you protect your will, your emotions, and even your spirit? How do you protect yourself from those opportunities to say, you know what, I can make this choice, but what am I sacrificing? What am I giving up for this moment in my life? And it might be a fleeting momentary pleasure. We're not saying it won't be pleasurable. What we're saying is it won't be worth it.
You know, and that's a good point you made, Cathy. Even in the negatives and in the positive, everything is an opportunity.
That's right.
You got to make the conscious decision. What are you going to do? Because if you decide somebody in there is making hooch and they ask you to hold it, you have this choice to make. You can hold the hooch for them, or you can even partake of it. You can drink it with them. But come on, Dad, you're telling the world that you've changed and that you're being a man of honor, a man of good character, a person worth following. And so that type of individual, if somebody comes to him and they say, you know, hey, I'm going to make some hooch, man, will you hold it for me? Man, that's not your friend.
Right.
So now, you know.
And if you drink that hooch with them, that's the most expensive glass of alcohol you will have ever consumed.
What will it cost you? You know, that's great.
Right.
What will it cost you for everything you're building? And you're rebuilding you, man. You're rebuilding your reputation. You're rebuilding your word. You're rebuilding your mindset. The whole world around you, you are rebuilding so that those who look upon you will no longer see penitentiary. They won't smell penitentiary on you. They're going to smell a man of honor, a man of good character, a father who's worth following.
That's right. And so it doesn't matter how many good decisions you make. It only takes one bad decision to cost you everything, all the progress you've made up to this point. So, you know, today we're going to be talking about, we shared with you, this is the important thing we're talking about. Next, we're going to talk about why it's so important to protect your legacy. Why it's so important to be on your guard all the time.
So stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to dig deeper into the importance of being a man of integrity.
Right.
All right.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through family days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina.
And today we're talking about what do you do when somebody offers you a little Debbie?
So I call this show the Box of Debbies. Because in the Box of Debbies, it's like all the things that are the potential to take you out. So
And in the Box of Debbies, there's either 10 or 12, you know? I don't remember.
I feel like there's 12. Like there's 6 packets
of
doubles, or there's 12 singles. It probably depends on what kind you buy.
All right, yeah.
Swiss cake rolls.
There's 8, I think, in a box. So why is this important to really understand where you're at in your own evolution, in your own maturity level? You know, where are you at? Because a guy who would succumb to the temptation of marijuana in prison, a guy who would succumb to the temptation of pornography in marijuana or in prison, a guy who would succumb to drinking hooch,
getting caught up in inappropriate relationships
in the penitentiary,
or even outside,
right? Yeah. Or even a guy who would get caught up in gambling, right? These habits, you didn't pick them up when you got there,
right?
You had these before you came to prison. You just took them into this new environment.
That's right. So you carried them in with you, and now hopefully you've started working on, you know what, I got to get rid of this, I got to get rid of that, and you really want to do something different. And dad, or especially talking to you dads, your kids are counting on you to come out different than you went in. They need you. They're hanging on to the hope that, you know what, my dad, who I love, who I honor, who I respect, my dad, who I'm grieving for, when he comes home, everything's going to be better. Everything's going to be different.
So, you know, I'm glad you made that distinction, especially dads, right? Because what we're saying here is, listen, we're not negating any man that's in the penitentiary.
That's right.
All of you got to reinvent yourselves. You got to re-examine what got you there and all these things that we've been talking about here on TYRO TV. But dads, listen, when we're talking about why is it so more important for you, dad? Because you have a responsibility to raise your family as best you can, even from in there, and be that example on how to stop this generational cycles of incarceration, poverty, and entitlement mentality. And if this ain't your first rodeo, in other words, this ain't the first time you've been in the system and you've been in and out of trouble and all that, it's time to stop it right here, right now. That means you got to find out, and why is it so important to know your weaknesses? Know what it is that easily trips you up and overcome those type of things, right?
It is so important, because not only is it going to change the course of your life, which is extraordinarily important in and of itself, but now multiply that importance, multiply that value, because it's also going to change the course of your children's lives. They're watching you. They're looking, they're saying, okay, so my dad says he's going to do the right thing, but he'll compromise when Uncle Joe shows up and says, hey, let's get drunk. Hey, let's get high. So what's worth compromising for is to make sure that we protect relationships. Well, now you're setting your kids up for failure, because they think, okay, so I'm going to do the right thing unless I have somebody I care about that tells me I should do something. Then I should compromise, and that's okay.
And that's a tough spot now. Listen, dads, if you've been practicing a certain behavior for a long time, when so-and-so shows up,
right?
How do you flip the script and you know what? You no longer practice that behavior. You're no longer going to act that way when your best friend or your brother or your uncle or somebody shows up, the people you're around with, because, you know, the first thing happens is, even in the penitentiary, say, for example, that you're in the day room and every time they call chow, you and the guys that you associate with, when they call chow, you are the first ones at the door. But now all of a sudden, you want to change your behavior and you want to be the last one at the door. You don't want to no longer run with the herd mentality. And then you say, I'm staying back. And your guys, your cats, your dudes, your associates, they all turn around. Man, what's wrong with you, man? You know how we do this? Nope, I don't. I want to practice something new this week.
Oh, okay. You all that now.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you're going to act like you're somebody else.
And
All
now,
right.
you know what?
We'll
And-
see how long that lasts. when
And
they
then that's
run out of-
exactly it.
Yeah.
You'll see how long that lasts before
Right.
you do what we do, because you
Right.
can't do it without us.
Right.
You need us.
Yeah.
But Dad, listen to me. The point, who needs you? Your kids need you. They need you to be that example. They need you to really show them what it means to stand up and have a new sense of convictions, right?
That's right.
A new sense of honor, a new
And
sense of
defend those. Defend those by standing firm. You don't have to fight with your fists. You have to fight with your will. Write that down. You don't have to fight with your fists. You have to fight with your will. And when you do that every single day, you will find that you are transforming who you are into the fullness of the potential of who you were designed to become.
And that's one of the great hows, and we're going to really get into that later. But you're having an eternal battle.
Right.
And that's what you're hitting on right there, Cathy. The eternal battle first begins within you. You're going to have a mind battle, man. What will people say? What will they think? Will they stop talking to me? Will they stop being my friend? And you know what? That's a real battle, man. You got to overcome that. Right. But you got to have that first courageous conversation with yourself. I will no longer get high in penitentiary. I will no longer try to get over on the correction officers. I am going to be an upright individual in here, and I'm going to become ticket free.
Okay, all right. So
Right?
we're going to keep it real. So also, your reputation as a TYRO is at stake. Because we hear sometimes, more often than we want to hear, from caseworkers to say, you know what, I know so-and-so is a TYRO. I know so-and-so is in a relationship with the mother of his children. She comes to visit him on a regular basis, but he also has another woman coming to see him on a regular basis, and it's not a friend. That's not okay. That's destroying your relationship. And so you want to set a new reputation, you got to start right now. So when we come back, we're going to tell you how to do it, how to actually maintain, protect your legacy, and you don't want to miss this.
So we'll be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about Mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tiarina.
And I'm Cathy Tiarina.
And today we have the great privilege and honor of talking to you guys not only about what it means to be a TYRO, right, a great father, but how to maintain that. Because you're going to be challenged right, left, forward, backwards, where people are going to try to take you out.
Right.
You know, they might have good intentions. They not be conscious of it. They might.
Right. They might think
Yeah.
they have good intentions.
That's it.
You know
They-
what? Yeah, man, I just want to help him so that everybody else still likes him.
You know, we hear a lot of stories when guys get out that used to sell dope or used to do other things and hustle on the streets in a negative manner. Their cats come back, hey man, let me set you up. They might think they have good intentions and they're
Right.
trying to help you out, but really what it is they're trying to keep you down and send you back.
Or they
Right.
just want to keep you part of their group, right? And so in their broken thinking, they think they're doing you a favor. by the time you get out, you should have whole thinking so that when you look at that, you see that, you know what, that is destruction for me and my family.
And this is going to be tough because you know you're going to need money, you know you're going to need cars, you're going to need some things, and you want to be that man to support for your family or to have those nice things. And so you have to be strong and have patience, and right, because perseverance will pay off if you continue to practice discipline, right, determination, dedication, and you start to practice these principles, because when that test comes, and it's coming, guys.
Yep.
If it ain't coming already today, if it hasn't already happened, somebody's gonna, pass you something under the table.
Yep.
Come on now. When you pass those small tests, he who is faithful in the little things, somewhere it's written, will be faithful in the big things.
That's exactly right. So what we're talking about now is, how do you do it? You're like, okay, yeah, I need to do that, and I'm kind of struggling. And so we mentioned in our last segment, you don't fight with your fists, you fight with your will. And so there's two things when we think about fighting with your will. One, Ron started to talk about, and that's the internal battle of, okay, can I really do this? I have to overcome my own inclination to do the wrong thing.
My own insecurities.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. My own fear of failure. That's the first thing. Then you build up that resolute will. The second fight is the external fight. And so you're not fighting with somebody when they come and offer you something, you're not punching them in the face, right? That's ridiculous. But what you are doing is you're letting your will stand against their will. And you are determined enough that no matter what their persuasion is, you are immovable.
Or coercion.
Right.
Right? In other words, you're going to stand still, and you're going to stand on these new principles that you practice on, that no matter what it looks like, no matter how bright that light is, no matter how shiny
it is,
that gleam, that bling bling is, you're going to say, you know what? I'm not going to sacrifice what I built, because now I'm going to give you something else. When we're talking about how to do this, right? This is really what we want to teach you today. And we're going to put this together. Because what you're building, when we talk about integrity and honor and a good character and all these things, if you're thinking that you're going to build something on your personality, and you're going to realize, because you're charming and everybody loves you and you're the happy guy and all that type of stuff, that's fleeting. Because if you leave and you go somewhere else, or you built something in your kingdom, in your home, and you fall short, and that what you built, it was built on your personality, your children, they can't hold on to that. They can't hold on to your personality. They have to hold on to something that is true and absolute.
It has to be the principles that you hang on to. And so you say, you know what? I'm not hanging on to the fact that I'm cute, or that I can convince people to do things. I'm not hanging on to the joy around me. I'm hanging on to honor, integrity, trustworthiness. I'm hanging on to reliability, dependability. Those concepts, when you get a hold of those and you say, this is what I'm going to exemplify, those things will outlast you, especially in your children's lives, their memories, their hearts, and then they will be able to pay it forward in their children's lives. You're creating a legacy that will far outlast you.
So how do you do this? By just do not despise small beginnings.
Yeah.
When you have a milestone, when you overcome something, say it's just doing push away, guys.
That's right.
Say you want to just, I want to lose some weight, but I keep giving into the Debbie's at night, or I go to the storm hand and keep getting in debt and everything. When you start having one victory, let's say you're in debt with the storm man, and then one night you say, you know what, I'm not going to do it. And you're having a battle, man, because the Debbies are calling you, right?
Right.
Which you're already in debt, 6 months state pay, right? But this night you're going to start something new in your life, and you say, you know what, I'm not going to the storm man. I'm not going to eat at night. I'm not gonna do it. And then you have a victory that one night. Boom! Celebrate that,
that's
man.
right.
Not by going to get another box of Debbie's.
That's right. First step towards your legacy. So
Right.
if you've already made those first steps and you've got a foundation, hang on to it. Constantly, internally, recenter yourself and remind yourself, this is what I'm fighting for. And then that way, when the external pressure comes, you don't cave. You can stand firm and say, no, that's not me. And guess what? The more that you stand your ground, the less that you are going to be tempted and tested, because the word will get out. You know what? Don't even bother. That's not what he's about anymore.
And as you begin this, gentlemen, what I'm telling you, dads, is you're going to look at your circle, your inner circle of the people you're hanging around with. Because in order to maintain what you build and really activate these principles, the people you're with also must be building a kingdom like this for their own generations, for their own families, right? But if they're not, if the people you're with and you're trying to build something, then you got to run from them. You got to build that wall. You got to say, listen, man, I'm about something else, and I got to build a future for my family, and it begins right now within me. Because when I go out there and I face these peer pressure things, alcohol, drugs, pornography, Facebook, whatever it is, whatever's
Right.
going to try to get Netflix, these TV shows, movies, and they will try to keep you asleep. And you're going to ward them off, and you're going to say, you know what? I'm not going to spend 8 hours a day watching TV when I get home, but I need to practice that right now.
Right.
Right.
That's
So I'm
right.
not going to give in to Jerry Springer. I'm not going to stay up all night and watch TV. Right. It begins right now.
And so that's why we say, is your legacy worth giving up for a box of Debbie's? What we mean is it's not always the big, huge, obvious things. It's a lot of the little things that add up and distract you from putting all the effort you need to continue to build your legacy. So if you want to be successful, how do you do it? You build your own resolute inside. Second thing is that resolute emanates outside to say no, say no, say no consistently. Surround yourself with like-minded people that are making the same choices and decisions that you're making for a better future for yourself and your family.
So listen, when we come back, we're going to wrap all this up, right? And we hope that we'll be able to not only impart something in, but you can help others to, from this moment forward, build a legacy that would outlast them.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine TYRO's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron TYRO.
And I'm Cathy TYRO.
And you know, we've been talking about something serious, something hard, and this is what it's about, guys. Listen, sometimes somebody's just got to get in your face and tell you, you are worth fighting for. Mm-hmm. Dad, your family is worth fighting for. You know what? Because you're going to be tempted inside there, and when you get home, there's all types of things that are going to distract you, and they're going to try to take you out, and before you know it, you're going to wake up one day back in the penitentiary. Mm-hmm. That's why it's so important to know that you have the power within you to just say no, to really establish this type of legacy where you're going to do everything you can to keep it. And the first thing you want to keep is your word, right?
And so some of you are working really hard on building the outside body. You're exerting all kinds of willpower on saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to work out this many times. I'm going to do this many sets of that. Well, you need to take that same principle and build the willpower on the inside to avoid all the other garbage that's going to be shoved your way and pushed your way. The answer is no. You know what? I'm on a path. I'm in training to be the best dad in the world, the best dad possible for my children. I'm in training to be the best husband. I'm in training to be the best employee, and I can't let those things take me off track.
You know, there's a lot of you dads in there that are still affiliating with gangs and all that type of stuff. I'm going to tell you right now, man, a healthy dad, my gang is my family, right? I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about my immediate family, my wife and my kids. Then we're a clan. We're a group of people. Come on, man. This is us, man. This is what we maintain a healthy relationship. But if you're out there and you're associating yourself, dad, come on now, with gangs where you're robbing and you're stealing and you're manipulating or you're trying to intimidate people, these are grown men with little boy issues.
Trying to take the easy way out of saying, you know what, let me just connect here. Then I don't have to work as hard because there's all these other people that are going to protect me, right? The truth is, you can't be lazy, right? You cannot be lazy. Your legacy is worth fighting for and working for. Hard work equals profit. When you put in the effort and the hard work and you begin to establish a new legacy, then you find like-minded people that will also help you bring that to pass. And that camaraderie, that sense of fulfillment, there is nothing that compares to it.
People will surround themselves when you are exhibiting a character of honor, a character of responsibility, a character of dependability. People will surround you and they will honor you in that aspect. Look, there is life after penitentiary, but life must first begin right there
That's
in
right.
the penitentiary.
That you're
Right?
still alive, your children, your family's still alive. Start acting like it. Start acting like it. And now I hope that as we've shared today that you have learned something that you can apply right now. We are passionate about helping you create a new foundation for your future and for your children's future.
So don't give up on yourself. There's still time. As long as you got breath, the story's not over. Don't give up on yourself by giving in to the little Debbie that's coming at you, right? Hold on to what you built and continue to build that legacy of honor, integrity, and a life of righteousness for generations to come. So thank you for allowing us to be part of your journey today.
And until next time.
And until next time,
Always remember that we are rooting for you.